What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is 22:34 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. So, what you're looking at here is some video footage coming out of Israel, and this is in the Tel Aviv area, and you can see a massive line of cars, people trying to evacuate from Tel Aviv and surrounding areas ahead of this massive retaliation that's expected from Iran as soon as tomorrow night. And this comes after Israel launched an airstrike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus and assassinated the top three commanders of the IRGC Quds Force in Syria and Lebanon. So this is a very serious situation. We have some initial reports coming in this evening that apparently three major military bases of the Israeli army southeast of Haifa came under attack, and the Islamic resistance of Iraq apparently targeted the Israeli Army Ramat David Air Base north of Eilat with an aerial attack today. So it looks like the attacks are starting now. The retaliation is just beginning. And we have some very concerning news that the vacations of pilots in the Israeli Air Force and also for operators of Israeli air defense systems have been canceled. So leave for air defense personnel and fighter pilots has been canceled in Israel. They're recalling all of their pilots and air defense personnel immediately. And the Israeli Air Force has declared a state of maximum alert. And the former head of Israel's military intelligence, General Amos Yadlin, said that it appeared that Hezbollah received Iranian orders to open an all-out war on Israel. And that's why Israel has decided to call up their Air Force reserves and recall their personnel. And we have some very concerning news coming from the Persian Gulf. Apparently, GPS jamming is now going on in the Persian Gulf. This is being reported by multiple maritime organizations, including the British Maritime Trade Organization. So obviously, Iran is jamming GPS systems in the Persian Gulf ahead of this massive missile attack on Israel and potentially American bases in the region. We already heard that the U.S. has warned Iran not to target U.S. bases in their retaliation. And earlier today, Iran sent a message to the U.S. warning the U.S. not to get involved in their retaliation against Israel. And Russian tanks have been positioned on the border of Israel in the Golan Heights of Syria. And these tanks are apparently part of Russia's policing troops, peacekeepers apparently. And Russia has a mutual defense pact with Iran. Okay, so Russia is moving tanks to the border of Israel in the event that Israel tries to invade Syria. This is very, very serious. And the U.S. and coalition forces in northern Iraq have reportedly been placed on high alert. Reports indicate that U.S. troops have been told to be ready for possible ballistic or cruise missile attacks by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. And apparently these attacks are going to target facilities in and around the city of Erbil, which Iran claims is full of Israeli intelligence operatives. And the Israeli Defense Force Home Front Command is going to be launching a media campaign to help Israeli citizens prepare for war with Hezbollah. Okay, so this is going to be like a civil defense campaign. They're going to be telling Israelis to stock up on food and water and supplies. And the Israeli Home Front Command has already started prepping for this war against Hezbollah. They've been stockpiling various types of supplies, food, water, medicine. They've been figuring out how to keep the power going because they expect the power to go out and for Hezbollah to launch thousands and thousands of rockets towards Israel every single day when the war with Hezbollah begins. But it's very possible that this war could begin early and that Iran and Hezbollah are now going to launch a massive attack on Israel because of Israel's strike on the Iranian consulate, okay? And the Bank of Israel is telling local banks in Israel to prepare for a high demand for cash as the public may rush to withdraw funds in case of a war. And several authorities in Tel Aviv are considering opening public bomb shelters due to the fear of imminent Iranian missile strikes. This was reported by Walla News. And municipalities of Haifa, Tel Aviv, and Eilat entered a high state of readiness for a major missile attack. Okay, so Haifa is up in northern Israel. Tel Aviv is on the Mediterranean, kind of central Israel. And then Eilat is southern Israel. So they're now in a high state of readiness for a major missile attack from Iran. And apparently in Syria, air defense was active this evening in Damascus, and kabooms were reported. And the Iranian president has already had a phone conversation with Syrian President Bashar Assad. So they've already talked about everything and the retaliation. And there was a massive kaboom that occurred this evening in southeastern Iran at an arms depot of the IRGC near the town of Rask. And apparently, this was an attack by a Sunni group, an anti-regime Sunni group in Iran. And they launched this attack on this arms depot. So I don't know if Israel's involved in this, if Israeli intelligence is not involved. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. And now there's clashes ongoing between Iranian security forces and these groups in southeastern Iran. They also attacked some kind of military headquarters in Chabahar. So there's some chaos going on in Iran right now. And Vladimir Putin warned the US and England not to cry when the conflict escalates in the Middle East because they didn't condemn Israel's airstrikes on the Iranian consulate. So Putin throwing his weight behind Iran and Syria, which is biblical. And Israeli Channel 13 is reporting that the British Prime Minister informed the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that London is considering recognizing Israel as a state that violates international law. And according to CNN, Biden is preparing to express frustrations to Netanyahu in a phone call tomorrow. So very interesting. What you're looking at here is the flight path of a U.S. Navy sub-Hunter plane just south of Cyprus. This is right now, this evening, tonight, this sub-Hunter active off the coast of Cyprus. So obviously patrolling the eastern Mediterranean here to see if there's any kind of Russian or Iranian subs. I don't know if Iran has any subs, but this is pretty interesting. And here we have some video footage coming out of Iran showing this arms depot going up in flames after this attack by the Sunni group. I'm sure this is being coordinated with Israeli intelligence. And in addition to the situation in the Middle East, we now have another potential pandemic on the horizon. Apparently, the bird flu that infected a Texas man has mutated to spread more easily, according to the CDC. And 3 pet cats have died from this bird flu. And this comes after the biggest egg producer in the U.S. got hit with an outbreak of this strain, H5N1. The CDC mentioned that tests on an H5N1 sample from the first human case of H5N1 revealed a mutation linked to the virus adapting to mammalian hosts. This particular mutation was not found in cattle or wild birds, with officials suggesting it might have developed in the patient during the development of an eye infection. Reports indicate that 3 pet cats in Texas have died from bird flu. The cats contracted the virus on dairy farms. Additionally, the largest egg producer in the U.S. has confirmed the presence of bird flu in its flock. There are plans to cull nearly 2 million chickens. And this could inflate prices of egg and dairy products, guys. The largest egg producer in the U.S. has confirmed bird flu in their flock. Okay, that is very, very serious. And the defense ministers of Russia and France, Sergei Shoigu and Sebastian Lecornu, held a telephone conversation today where the Russian defense minister basically warned the French defense minister not to send troops into Ukraine. So the Russian defense minister said that the implementation of what Macron said, sending troops to Ukraine, would cause quote unquote problems for France. Wow, very strong words there. And these defense ministers haven't spoken since October of 2022. So they have not spoken in over a year and a half. So obviously the situation is serious enough that they had to speak about it. And what you're looking at here is the flight path of a South Korean RQ-4 Global Hawk patrolling the border of North Korea. And here we have a U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon that was patrolling off the coast of Kaliningrad all night long. Look at all these loops, guys. Hundreds and hundreds of loops back and forth all night long. Okay, this is the third night in a row that the U.S. has sent a sub-hunter off the coast of Kaliningrad, and it actually hung out for a long time in the same area. Okay, we know that Belarus is building up their forces on the border of Lithuania. Lukashenko was there last week. He met with his forces. They were wearing armbands for preventing friendly fire. You don't put those types of armbands on unless you're getting ready to go to war. And want to just update you guys on the earthquake situation in Taiwan. We've had dozens and dozens of aftershocks today. Look at all these aftershocks, most of them in the 4.5 range. So these aftershocks are still very, very strong. The initial quake was a 7.7. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be back tomorrow with more breaking news. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon down below so you get notified when I post these updates. And if anything happens tomorrow night in Israel with Iran's retaliation, I will go live. And if anything happens in Lithuania or anywhere else around the world, I will go live 24/7 if I have to. So until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. This update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. But this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It includes over 2,000 calories per day. Breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, all contained within 6 rugged water-resistant buckets, and free shipping is included. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get $200 off or 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. Free shipping is included. They also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running various discounts. And to get to their general store, you just got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo when you get to preparewithNYPrepper.com at the top of the page, and you'll see their general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running discounts here. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video